Unfortunately, I have to open this week's show with some breaking news, and it's not very good at all. As I am sitting here recording this, I see the news from pwtorch.com that former WWE and WCW star Scott Hall is currently on life support at Wellstar Kennestone Hospital in Marietta, Georgia, after suffering 3 heart attacks last night. He had hip replacement surgery last week. I knew that he was going in for hip surgery because he had some very serious issues. He was in a great deal of pain. I didn't know that he was undergoing surgery last week. But after undergoing the surgery, I guess he just suffered a serious complication when a blood clot got loose. And that is a very serious situation. When that happens, that can be fatal. Blood clots can come from anywhere, and they travel to the heart, they travel to the lungs. That could be the end of you very quickly. And apparently, he suffered 3 heart attacks for someone who has a pacemaker installed. Scott Hall is not an old man, but he's lived 1,000 lifetimes, and obviously he put himself and his body through a lot of abuse, substance abuse over the years, to the point where his heart had suffered some damage, and I know he has a pacemaker installed. So for him to suffer 3 heart attacks and be on life support is obviously not good news at all. And that is the only update I have so far. I don't like where this is going and where this appears to be headed, but I'm hopeful that he can kick out and pull through here. And obviously, if there are any updates, I'm sure I'll be keeping track of things and tweeting stuff out if anything happens. But not a good situation at all. And sending positive vibes to Scott Hall. Here's a guy who, he was never, the world champion or anything like that anywhere he went. But boy, he has carved out a spot for himself in history as one of the biggest stars in the history of the business across multiple promotions. And unfortunately, he'll be as known for, his outside the ring issues as he will his exploits on television and everything he accomplished as Razor Ramon, and then later on as Scott Hall in WCW and elsewhere. But one of the biggest stars, certainly, of my young wrestling fandom, going back to the Razor Ramon days. And the first guy to walk out there on WCW television on that Nitro episode in May of 1996, the kickoff to what would end up being the biggest wrestling angle of all time. The birth of the NWO. He was the first face we saw walking out on Monday Nitro, kicking off that entire storyline. And from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and then to see the work that he put in with DDP and how DDP brought him and Jake Roberts, into his crib down there in Georgia and was there for him and helped rehab him and get him to a point where, he was doing well. And he seemed to really rebound from, a lot of those issues that he had in the past. And then for this to happen is just a kick in the nuts. So best wishes to Scott Hall. And again, if there are any updates on him later today and throughout the week, I'm sure that I'll be talking about that on social media and next week's show. And I just hope it's a positive update and not a negative one.